Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to the show right here on Shaw TV, episode number 57 to be precise. My name is Matt Carter, so glad to have you along for the ride. Our musical guests in behind me on this show, it's a new band from Vancouver Island called Trace the Sky. They're a post-hardcore alt-rock band featuring members from Dead Eyes Open and The Perfect Trend, as well featuring two guys named Matt, so obviously they're completely overrun with talent. We're going to hear more music from them as well as the interview, find out more about their new album and much more in an interview with Andrew Roberts later on this hour. Also on today's show, well, I'm always stoked we bring some sweet desserts onto the show, and Lorraine Jensen has done just that. Of course, here in Nanaimo, what's more famous than the Nanaimo Bar? And we may have the best Nanaimo bar of the city right here on our set. So again, Lorraine's going to find out more from Eric and Sandy McLean from McLean's Specialty Foods. Now, whenever a family brings a newborn baby into the world, it usually means they also bring a lot of newfound stuff into the household. So yes, we're going to look at the issue of baby decluttering. That's Tara Keeping speaking with guest Christy Lundman, and they may have some great advice for new parents as well. Now, when it comes to tea time, it can mean one of two things. It could mean you head out to some freshly pressed lawns and knock a stupid little white ball around to a little cup that's more frustrating than figuring out a Rubik's Cube. Or tea time could mean sitting down with one of my favorite hot beverages, and that's what we're going to do. Look at some cold varieties as well. Lorraine's going to speak with one of the show's best friends, Kim Plumley, about some varieties of tea. Steeped. All right, and finally, what? And there's the booze. All right, and we're also going to speak with Don Boyd, the president of the Vancouver Island exhibition, to find out more about this year's event, always one of the biggest events on Vancouver Island. And rumor has it they've got some amazing, amazing musical acts lined up this year, so make sure you stay tuned to find out who that just might be. But to kick things off, we have a segment with Brian Sugiyama, and before the show, he pulled me aside and said, Matt, I think it's time we make up. And I didn't even know we had a fight. So anyways, I guess we'll find out what's going on coming up next on the show right here on Shaw TV.
I'm here with Max Dowie, and we're going to do some stage makeup. Max has been to training at the Vancouver Film School, and we're going to do some film and stage makeup. That's his specialty. Mm-hmm. And Max, we're going to have me done over to be a zombie?
A zombie, that's right. We are going to make you look like one of the undead.
And this is one of the, as I understand, we're on the crest of the wave of everybody with World War Z. And
yeah, we got World War Z, we got Zombie Walk, we've got Halloween coming up too in a couple of months. We don't want to miss out on that.
Well, this should be quite the transformation then.
Betcha.
Well, now you've already started this process. I know there's something in my hair.
There is something in your hair.
And a base coat of some things for putting the makeup on.
We've got some witch hazel on you, just that tones out the skin. We want to take care of your skin when we're doing the makeup, so we got witch hazel on to tone it out. We got some moisturizer in there to give it the moisture back that the witch hazel stripped out. And we've actually put on some barrier cream, so a lot of the latexes and glues and stuff that I'm going to be putting on your skin won't root in and take hold and that sort of thing.
That's good. That's good to know.
Yeah. So I've got more barrier cream here, and we're going to put some in your eyebrows and that sort of thing, so that when we go to take it off, it comes off easier.
Okay. Well, I'll chat to you as we're doing this. Max, you're a local student, attended high school right here in Nanaimo?
I did. I went to Nanaimo District Secondary School, NDSS.
And you got into this how?
I started actually in their theater program, doing their plays and that sort of thing. And it kind of bloomed out from there. I started with making props and moved on to puppetry and costumes and makeup. And that's where I kind of ended up there.
And you decided to go to Vancouver Film School, and that was a couple years ago?
Yeah, it was my time in heaven, as I like to say. It was a bunch of people who like to communicate and do the same things I did, so it was awesome.
Good, good. So you're back in town looking to get some work?
Yes, there are groups and people around that are doing this, but the jobs are few and far between currently.
Well, I guess you're going to head into your busy time in the fall and
Oh,
Halloween.
yes. Oh, I hope so. I hope so.
And if people want to get involved in the zombie walk in Vancouver, they can contact you about getting set up for that.
Of course they can. I would love to help them set up. You bet.
Well, we'll have some information on your contact information later in the show, but let's continue here. So you're going to apply a base, and we're going to start working towards this, and we'll be back with some different things here. Let's continue now. You've got some color to...
I've got some bases here. I've got a piece up here in your hair that I'm going to color.
I have no idea what this is looking like, so I'll get a look at the end in a mirror.
You betcha.
And this transformation will go on throughout the show, so people can get the information and look at that.
Yeah,
right now, we'll send it over to Lorraine, who's got some things on food.
Thanks, Brian. You know, there's the El Camino Trail, there's the West Coast Trail, and in Nanaimo, we have the Nanaimo Bar Trail. My guests today are Sandy and Eric McLean from McLean Specialty Foods, and they are one of the 23 vendors that people can go and check out Nanaimo bars in Nanaimo. Welcome.
Thanks, Lorraine.
So tell me where this came from. How did this begin?
It was started by Chelsea Bar, who worked for Tourism Nanaimo at the time in 2010, I think. And she had an idea just to highlight the Nanaimo Bar as one of the great features and create a little walking tour. So we were lucky enough to be one of the first dozen or so in the original trail, and it's expanded to 23, and it's in its third issue actually. So it's been a really successful promotion.
So I found this rack card in your store. So people come in here and they pick up the rack card and they go from store to store. And
yeah, a lot of people do that. It's been very successful. It gets people walking around the town.
It sure does.
Which was kind of the purpose of it.
Yeah, I had the opportunity to interview and spend time with Roy and Haley Cropper from Coronation Street last month. And I was with them for a couple hours, and the amount of times the word Nanaimo Bar came up was probably more than anything else that anybody talked about.
Yeah, it's well, there's the bathtub races, the Nanaimo Bar and Diner Crawl, and you know, thankfully there's more things happening to put Nanaimo on the map. But we get tons of tourists coming in; they just head straight for it. It's great.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I've heard that yours was voted the best.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So tell me, Sandy, why? What is it about your Nanaimo Bar that makes it the best?
The Nanaimo Bar that we make at McLean Specialty Foods is affectionately known as the original Nanaimo Bar.
And why is it original?
Well, on the table here, we've got a tin of bird's custard, and this comes from England. And not many people know it, but there was an anniversary tin that was made, and the Nanaimo Bar recipe was printed on the back. And that was sold all over the world, and it was one of the first times many people heard about Nanaimo Bar was on the back of the bird's custard. And at McLean Specialty Foods, Lorraine, we use that original recipe.
Wow.
Hence our claim to fame of being the original Nanaimo Bar.
Now, bird's custard is world famous. I mean, when we went to school, we had it every day at lunchtime with our dinner, right? Watered down or milked down or whatever it was. But that's fabulous. What else do you have in yours that's different to maybe the shooter?
Well, we use walnuts. Some recipes call for almonds, but walnuts are not. Walnuts are indigenous to the area. Almonds are not. You know, walnuts are a cold country nut, and I know some recipes do call for almonds, but that's a mutation, if you like, of the original recipe. So we've tried to stick as closely as possible to the original recipe to make it as traditional and authentic as possible. Not that I'm a traditionalist, but it helps.
So that's why it's called the original Nanaimo Bar.
Yeah.
Now, in Nanaimo, there are 23 places here listed
Right.
that you can go and be on the Nanaimo Bar Trail. One of them is a Nanaimo Bar Martini.
Well, you're talking to the martini girl here, you know.
Okay, have you tried it?
It's absolutely fabulous.
And whoops, and somebody wants some. And that's from Acme, is it? Yeah?
Yes, it is.
Okay, there's also, I see on here a raw from Rhombus, a raw, there's a fly. Everybody wants a Nanaimo bar. So Rhombus has got a Nanaimo bar. Have you tried that one?
I haven't, not yet.
Okay, I don't know what that's going to be about either, but I'm sure it's all very good.
Yeah.
What I find really interesting is that the Nanaimo Museum has the history of the Nanaimo bar posted in there. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, if you want more information on the Nanaimo bar, you can go to the museum and learn the history of the Nanaimo bar.
Yeah.
All very fascinating. So if you want more, if you want the original recipe for the Nanaimo bar that Sandy and Eric sell in their store, you can go to their Facebook page, which is McLean Specialty Foods. And if you want to learn more about the Nanaimo bar, you can go to the Nanaimo Museum. Back to, is that Brian over there? Yeah. Ooh, back to Brian.
Thanks, Lorraine. And I'm not sure what's all happening to me. There's pieces of tissue and bran flakes, some everyday items getting applied to me. And Max, you're busy doing this. So you tell me it's not real busy right now for work for you, but you're getting contracted by different agencies to do different classes, activities?
That's right. I've got classes coming up soon for stage makeup and theatrical makeup and film makeup through these agencies. It's all on my website, so keep your eyes open for that.
Great.
Yeah. And they want to know the same sort of stuff I'm doing here, the zombies and the werewolves and Frankenstein and all that good stuff. Yeah.
So all these things, and I'm interested for my own self-preservation, is it easy enough to get off?
Oh, yes. What we're doing today will come off with hot soapy water.
Okay.
Most of the time it does. I do have some industrial glues and some studio glues that have to be taken off with mirror straight or removers,
Okay.
that sort of thing. But on the whole, it's usually just hot soapy water.
Okay.
Yeah.
And as we move along with this, this whole thing with zombies, what's been sort of the background of that?
It really all started with Night of the Living Dead, the Romero original classic in black and white. And that was basically the same sort of thing with the cereal and the bran flakes. What their big thing was they were looking for a monster that no one really had seen before. And everyone's done werewolves and vampires and that sort of thing. And the zombies, the thing about zombies is they can be anybody.
Yes.
So that's creepy in itself.
Well, and this should be something that'll be quite the transformation, and I'm hoping we get some photos as I move along through this, and we certainly have film on it, so people will get to see what this is going to look like. We're going to get back here in a few more minutes. Let's send it over to Tara, who's looking at babies and the issue of setting up for babies in your home.
Hi, the royal baby was just born yesterday, baby George, so we're so excited about that. So we have Christy Lundman, who is a baby specialist and owner of a very, very cute local store here, Huckleberry Baby Shop. And with my baby just being born just around the corner here, we are gonna talk about babies. Hi, Christy. So what we're gonna do is there's a lot of stuff out there. So our whole focus is about, you don't need all this stuff. So once you have the baby, you're in the hospital, come home with the baby, what do you need? What are the essentials of what you need to buy for the baby?
Well, really, there's not a whole lot that a baby needs when they first come home. Baby needs to be fed, and most moms breastfeed, so there's not a lot of equipment needed for that. A good nursing bra for mom and perhaps some reusable breast pads are really helpful. Baby also needs to be clothed. So you're going to need a selection of, some stretchy outfits, perhaps 5 or 6 sleepers, a couple of onesies, depending on the season. You'll also need perhaps some receiving blankets or swaddles.
And Kate had one of those.
Yes, apparently this is exactly the same design that the royal baby was wrapped in yesterday. And when you have receiving blankets, you can use them to soak up whatever liquids come off or out of your baby.
Perfect.
So a couple of receiving blankets are really handy. Something to diaper your baby in. So you're going to be changing a newborn anywhere from 10 to 14 times a day. So diapers come in all sorts of cute little prints and sizes. So something to diaper your baby in, and then somewhere safe for them to sleep.
Right.
And beyond that, all of the big plastic containers and swings and chairs and all that, they're not even really necessary.
And it is very overwhelming too.
It is.
How about products? Shampoos, soaps? Because I know at your store you sell all organic as well.
Well, if it's not organic, it's low chemical. We try to bring in things that aren't chemical. We also try to bring in things that are made as locally as possible. So this is a very popular head-to-toe baby wash that we sell, and it's made in Victoria.
Nice.
We sell soap made in Nanaimo. We sell bum cream made in Victoria, also made in Qualicum Beach. So lots of local stuff that you can get for your baby.
And that's another thing too, because a lot of mindful and conscious people really want to have the green and the sustainability. So when you have your products, local is huge. So you're supporting the local economy, as well as having like no toxins and stuff. Like there's a lot of toxins in baby products, and I won't mention the big bad names, and that's what I like, how you have, there's no toxins and it's very organic. We can say the word organic, can we not? Or yeah, no,
yeah. No, chemical free.
Chemical free, yes, because I know it has to be certifiable. Now let's talk about, because it's summer and it's the season. So what are the essentials again? Like, because it's so overwhelming. You go to these baby shops and there's just so much to buy. So what are the things that you recommend that you really, really need for the summer season?
Well, the first thing is that we always recommend minimizing sunscreen. You're not even supposed to put sunscreen on a baby under 6 months of age. So we recommend covering your baby up as much as possible and using shade and avoiding the really hot times of day with your baby. So one way that you can cover a baby up is just by putting them in a sunsuit. So something like this zips onto them. You can change their diaper easily in it with a zipper, and it covers most of them. You can then put a hat on their head and pop some sunglasses on them, and they're fairly well protected. If they're over 6 months and their hands and feet are sticking out, you can apply a little bit of sunscreen to their hands and feet, and you haven't had to coat their entire body with a sunscreen.
Good. Now let's just talk a little bit about cloth diapers, because I am definitely going that route. Cloth diapers versus disposable.
You're going to see an amazing cost saving with cloth diapers. Disposable diapers can cost upwards of $2,000 to $3,000 sometimes. Cloth diapers, you can cloth diaper a baby from anywhere from $300 to a couple $1,000 depending on what systems you're using.
Right.
Also at the end of it, you've got something that you can perhaps sell. You're also not exposing your baby to the chemicals.
Right, exactly. And there's also a lot of, to make it even easier, there's a lot of places that do pick up and delivery, so you don't even have to wash your poopy diapers.
Yeah, but if you are washing them, it's very, very simple. You just throw it in the washer.
And you have a 2-week trial period too, don't you?
Yes, yes we do.
Oh, Christy, oh my goodness, I could ask you so many questions as becoming a new mom myself just around the corner, but we are out of time. So thank you for being here. And you're just down the street on Boban.
Yes, I'm moving to Barons Road very soon.
Very soon. Well, thanks again for being here. Now we're going to go back to Andrew.
Well, thanks, Tara. I just wanted to say, every week, Brian Sugiyama sits in the same chair and gets the same makeup done. Are we really running out of segment ideas like that quickly? So, I don't know, I'm just saying. But anyway, I'm here with the band, local Vancouver Island band, Trace the Sky. I've got Chris Anderson, I've got Matt Harder, Liam Glame, and Matt Gladman sitting with me. Oh, I think I did that wrong. Did I do that? Oh, I did that right. Perfect. Awesome. So you guys are from the island. Whereabouts are you from?
Well, we have a member, Matt, who lives in Duncan. I live here in Nanaimo, and then the other two live in Victoria. So we're pretty spread out, but we get it done.
How did you come together?
Well, I used to be in a band called The Perfect Trend, and once we broke up last year, I was looking for some other members to start a serious project. I had known of these guys' older band, Dead Eyes Open, because we had did Fox Seeds with them. We were both top 20 finalists a couple years ago, and they were both Zone Band of the Months. They contacted me and were like, we're looking for a lead singer and a guitarist. Would you like to jam? We eventually jammed, and after some time, we decided we were going to form a new band.
How is it different from your old band to this new band?
Well, their old band was a metal band, so this one here, it's a bit more melodic. As for me, it's pretty similar to my old band. We generally played alternative rock. But with this band, we have 2 lead singers, we share vocals, and then everyone else too adds backing vocals. So that's something that is unique, at least to us, that I know of.
You guys get along pretty well? You gel?
Yeah, we're pretty good friends. We love hanging out. Yeah.
Sometimes we want to put the smack down, but
right on. So you've done some shows already. You've done some festivals. Tell me about that.
Yeah, that's correct. We did the Van Owl Throwdown Festival here back on June 1st with our good friends Ninja Spy. Then we also did, for our first show off the island, we played with a band that I looked up to when I was growing up, Silverstein, over in Vancouver. And then we also, afterwards, we did our first BC tour. We did 6 dates, and we did 3 in the interior, so that was a good experience as well, and we'll be continuing to do the touring in the fall when we do a BC Alberta tour.
Yeah, you've got a tour coming up. It's in October?
That's correct, yes. We have 2 other bands that we are playing with. We can't really announce them right now, but one's from Vancouver, one's from Alberta, and we look forward to going out. We're all about not just playing on the island, but getting out to different parts of Canada, because our old bands had done that, and we want to expose our music to as many people as possible.
Awesome. You can tell me about those bands after. I'll keep it on the down
low.
I promise. But now you're trying to raise money to do some final recording sessions?
That is correct. We have an EP. We've recorded 2 songs already. We went with our friend Adam Sutherland. He used to be in a band called Armchair Cynics. He's done some other great work for recording. But we did 2 songs back in March. We now are going to finish up our EP in October, but we're running an Indiegogo campaign to help have some funds to pay for it. So if you check again our Facebook site, which is www.facebook.com/Trace2Sky Music, you'll be able to see the information on there for donations and such.
Perfect. So the people at home, watching at home there, if you like to support local music, please do support these guys. Check that out. Check out their website, tracethesky.bandcamp.com. That's correct. And you guys are going to be playing a song?
That's correct. One that you can download at that site for free. It's called Living Proof.
Perfect. Take it away.
1, 2, 3.
With frozen toes follow the road, girl dressed in white. Try not to lose the will to stand and fight. Gather your trumpet, sound out loud to let them know we will not be routed here, no. The path we've traveled on is gone, it's time to go. It's time to choose a new direction. We often feel the breeze before the storm. Dark, the blitzen arcing far apart, it lights the way. This is not the time to stop here, don't delay. Though wounded scars will tell a tale of a healing heart. If we can do our part, no. The path we've traveled on is gone, it's time to go. It's time to choose a new direction. We often feel the breeze before the storm. We often see the signs before we're warned.
All my troubles, all my instincts
tell me that you've taken it, it's gone.
You're living proof that there's a reason to move on. Woo! breeze before the storm. We often see the signs before we're warned. All my troubles, all my instincts tell me that you've taken it. We often feel the breeze before the storm. We often see the signs before we're warned. All my troubles, all my instincts tell me that you've taken it. It's gone. You're living proof that there's 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 a reason to move on.
All right, and that is Trace the Sky from right here in Vancouver Island, the great track called Living Proof. And we're going to have more music from Trace the Sky later on this hour, as well as some information on tea with Kim Plumley. Gotta love that rhyme. As well, we'll check in with Brian Sugiyama, who's looking more and more like my high school science teacher by the minute. And also some great makeup stuff there as well. Moving on now, on the subject of Nanaimo events, of course, all sorts of big Nanaimo events happen. In the wintertime, we have the Festival of Trees. In the springtime, we have Andrew Roberts shaving off his playoff beard. And in the summertime, we have, of course, the Bathtub Festivals and the Vancouver Island Exhibition, one of the best events that happens on Vancouver Island. I'm very pleased to welcome back to the Shaw TV studios Don Boyd, President and Director of Mainstage for the Vancouver Island Exhibition.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, great to have you back. Now, I was looking up the exhibition, about 119 years old.
Yes.
So basically, it outlived George Burns. Wilfrid Laurier was still 2 years away from being Prime Minister. And for any of the kids out there, he's the guy in the $5 bill. So as president now, how does it feel to be in charge of an organization with that much history?
Well, it's actually quite easy. There's a lot of past presidents, Karen Streeter, Stephen Cass, Lynn Haley, who's gone away, she'll be back. So there's a lot of stuff that we can draw on. There's a lot of fantastic people that work for the organization. So the directorship's just a good glue.
Absolutely, yeah. So yeah, who is it that puts the whole event together? We were talking off air, is it mostly volunteers or is it staff?
It's all volunteers, from the president right down to the person that gives you, that takes your money for your ticket to come in. Every person there is a volunteer, and it's a fantastic show. In fact, we need volunteers, so anyone out there, please, if you want to get involved, contact the office and
sure. What's the contact number for the office? If want to volunteer?
Oh gosh. Well, you can go to VIEX.ca, or you can email it info@VIEX.ca.
Perfect. No, flash those graphics up there as well. So now, speaking about the event being 119 years old, now this year's theme is "Proud of the Past, Poised for the Future." So as a tagline, what does that mean for you?
Well, I think a lot of the things that we've done in the past and have shown in the past, we're trying to give more people an idea of what agriculture means in our society today. I mean, obviously without food, I'm not eating. So it gives people an idea of, besides the grocery store, where they get their food from. And it allows, I mean, there's more urban stuff that's growing, natural foods, which is huge now. Everyone's starting to call for it. So this is just a gentle reminder of what we need.
Absolutely. So do you think maybe like sort of the role of agriculture is sort of maybe overlooked by a lot of people sort of in this day and age?
I think over the last quite a few years, we've had a few times where it kind of gets lost in the shuffle. But I think it's starting to come back more and more as you see more shows on organics and other stuff. So I think, again, it's going to be, there's lots of stuff to show for it. So. Yeah,
so I mean, we talked on a previous show about how many farmers markets there are now in Vancouver Island. So in terms of agriculture actually at the exhibition, how does that sort of manifest itself? What are folks going to see when they come to the VIEX?
Well, you're going to see, gosh, a lot of animals. There's some rare ones that are coming. There's a, oh gosh, this just was hot off the presses, so if you don't mind. There's the Courtney Cador drill team coming, Dan Ritchie woodcarver, Island barrel racing. As far as there's there's a farmyard stuff. There's a bunch of animals that are rare and almost extinct that are going to be there. So kids are going to want to see that as well.
I do have a question about animal security. When I was 1 year old, I went to the PNE and I stuck my finger in a pig's nose.
That was a bad idea.
This is just true. Well, I'm still alive,
yes,
thankfully. I'd like a good pork steak still. But if any other kids should do that, will there be traumatic help there?
There could be some counseling.
Okay, beautiful. That's good to see. So apart from the agricultural side of things, I know often you have sort of rides and also music. And so that's sort of there I want to go to next. Now, talking to you off camera, you mentioned you got into the exhibition first by managing a band.
Yes.
Was it Sadly Available?
Sadly Available.
Nanaimo Legends.
Paul LeBlanc.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so played there, and that's how you sort of got involved with the society. So I wanted to ask you, what can you tell us about the music that's going to be at the exhibition this year?
Well, it's going to start off with, we always start off with the vocal challenge, the VIEX vocal challenge. For years it was the Songbird. We wanted to incorporate something that the guys would want to, make it more effective for guys and girls to join in. As well, again, hot off the presses, folks. We start off the country night Friday with Jupiter Jill, going from that to Clint Hansen. Jupiter Jill's country pop, Clint Hansen's more folky country. The Herbicidal Maniacs, they'll be up after that.
That's a great name.
And they're like a 60s, 70s type. They're going to be kind of almost kind of a bit like Steely Dan in a way. There's a lot of cool aspects to them. We'll be also having the opening ceremonies right after that. And then follow that up at 7 o'clock. We have the Johnson Brothers for those who like traditional, hard-nosed country. And they're very high energy, which is cool. And then right to our headliner, we have Current Swell that we're extremely excited about having. And these guys are starting to slowly become an international brand as well. So that takes care of the Friday. As far as Saturday, it starts off with a big bang, a Nanaimo band called Big Bang Baby, followed up by a band that's currently recording in my studio. They're a band called Jericho. After that, speaking of Paul LeBlanc from Sadly Available, he's now part of a band called West Road Butchers, and they'll be performing right after Jericho.
All right, just noticing we're getting the track from the producer here.
Okay.
Before we move on, I want to bring in Andrew Roberts really quickly because we need to hold up the poster for the event, and I can't think of anyone better.
Andrew, you got to come over here.
Come here, and so I want Andrew to hold the poster up and announce our other big headliner here before we move on. So,
where am I looking? Right there.
There we go.
Awesome.
So we've also got Towers and Trees, followed up by Damn Fools, which is a fantastic band that no one's going to want to miss. From Vancouver, and of course Andrew was instrumental in helping me get the Trues for Saturday.
The Trues, nice.
So
excellent.
very excited about that. As well, Sunday we have the Moonshine Mollies as a country band, and lastly the Lion, the Bear, the Fox, Ryan McMahon and all
awesome
the boys.
Stuff. So. Perfect. All right, so an amazing lineup of music, again, arts, crafts, agriculture, so much more. So again, thank you so much for coming on the show. And again, for any folks who may want more information on the show, check out their website, www.viex.ca. If you want to interested in volunteering, email them info@viex.ca. And again, that's happening right in Nanaimo from August 16th to 18th. Lots of fun. Thank you so much, Don. All right. And now moving on, we're going to send it back over to a very creepy looking Brian and Max, see what's going on over on the makeup table.
Thanks, Matt. I have no idea what I look like, but it's feeling like it's layering on thicker and thicker here. I'm here again with Max Dowie, film and stage makeup artist, and Max is certainly wanting to get out there. And Max, how can people get a hold of you?
You can go to my website, which is www.maxdowiecreative.webs.ca, or you can go to my Facebook site, which is much simpler than that. I can't remember the name of it.
Oh,
here it is. Mad Makeup Effects Productions. It's on the screen.
Okay, good. And people can contact you. You can do up kids for parties. You You've done some commercial work around town?
I've done commercials, I've done web series, I've done face painting, body painting, any of that. I've done boudoir shots, I've done all sorts of different things.
And this is a passion you've had, obviously, since high school.
Oh, yes. Since I first found out what the makeup artist does for a living.
This is going to be great because I will get a chance to see what it's going to look like later. Now, do people want to get this done for parties? I know you said something about kids' parties.
Yeah, no. I've had offers before to do like zombie parties where we all get together at the beginning of the evening and we put the zombie makeup on everybody, and it's just a lot of fun to do because everyone's playing with latex and cereal and all sorts of stuff. And then we paint them all up and we walk around the neighborhood and scare the neighbors. It's pretty fun.
Well, this is a new avenue for Matt Carter, and he'll come by here and we'll see if he's keen on this later in the fall here.
Oh, that'd be good.
So again, check the website, it's on your screen, and we'll be back with our final touch-ups in a few minutes here. So I'm going to throw it over back to Lorraine, who's going to talk about some tea.
I wonder where Brian's going tonight after the show. Probably read it about tomorrow in the newspaper. It's been a great day great week for Breton, as we have a new prince, and Kim and I are going to cheers to the prince. Yay, George, yay, George. To George. And Kim is my guest today, and Kim Plumley is huge when it comes to community. She really loves and believes in her community. And one of the things that tea brings is community.
Absolutely.
So welcome, Kim.
Hi.
Hi, and welcome. And tell me why you love tea.
Well, I like tea because it's slow. You're allowed to just be, you know, and enjoy and engage and just be and not have to worry about the time and everything. It's a slower time. So it's fun. It's exciting, and you get to chat.
Well, you know, it's so true. I make my tea in the morning, I sit down, and it's just that
yes,
quiet time.
Yes, absolutely. And that's one of the exciting things about it, because there is that, you know, when you get a coffee, it's sort of that run and go. And tea just has always had a bit of history about just being a little more regal, you know, Britain, and a little more laid back.
That's why I wore this.
Yeah, I see. Well, I see.
So today, now we're not just talking about red rose or Tetley here. We're talking all kinds of different teas that you've got going on.
Absolutely, because there's so many different varieties of teas out there. So we've got white tea, we've got our black tea, we've got pu'er, which we'll talk about later. I've got fruit teas. I have rooibos, which is really not a tea, but anyway, we'll call it a tea for today. It's a South African tea. It's called Red Bush, and it's a very healthy tea as well, but not really a tea.
Now, what is this one?
Oh, this one.
I pre-tasted.
I know,
delicious.
right? This one is called Vanilla Pop, and I actually make it for my children because I don't like them to have pop. So I make this one, and then I carbonate it. I got one of those crazy machines. It goes and it carbonates it, and then I add a little bit of either honey or agave or something, and it feels like a pop to them. It tastes.
It's really
really nice and refreshing. We thought maybe a martini made out of this would be kind of awesome too.
I'm going to take this home.
Yeah, exactly. We'll just make that up. So that one's really refreshing too, and it's really important over the summer to stay hydrated.
Yes.
So teas are a great way to do it. We really recommend a lot of water, but teas, herbal teas, your rooibos, those sort of things are really healthy to keep you going for the summer.
You were telling me earlier that even if I drink hot tea today,
it cools that core down, right? So, you know, that's what they do in India and stuff, right? They have their chais and stuff like that. Not really known as drinking a lot of iced products. So it actually, you know, drinking the hot tea actually helps cool you down.
And tea's good for you, right?
Most times. It depends on how much cream you add, right?
Okay.
Okay, let's talk about that.
So what is this tea?
Oh, this is my one of my favorites right now. It's a tea, it's mojito, so it's got some green tea. It has spearmint, there's a little bit of lemon peel and things like that. So we are going to make a sort of Lebanese tea. So if you would be kind enough, my dear, to add lemonade. Now, I really wanted to go all out for you guys and make my own little special blend of lemonade, but anyway, you're getting
Here we are.
You're getting this.
So you want this in there?
Yep, we're going to add this. Get her in there. So, and then if you can sort of take some of the leaves and put them in there. And, you know, it's ideally, we'd like to get those sort of in there.
How many?
So you know what, we got to make it pretty.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
make pretty.
Doesn't matter what it tastes like.
Yeah, exactly. No, really, it should taste good.
Sorry.
But we want to have the flavor of the mint in there. That's really key, too. So, yeah, just keep going.
Yeah, more?
Yep, absolutely.
Ooh,
bring it on.
Smells so good.
It does. And then you can add plain water, but I like the carbonated, and I do with my little crazy carbonator. I do carbonate my own, but again, wasn't the day for that. So I'm going to add this.
Look at Matt hanging around already. He
I
gets
know.
closer and
But
closer.
Matt, I do know, is a little bit of a tea junkie.
Is he now?
Yes. He said he's only ever had 8 cups of coffee in his life. The rest has been tea.
Wow, yeah, no wonder.
So Matt is pretty awesome in many ways, but because he likes tea, I like that. So we're going to add that. Gosh, it smells good. Yeah, that'll be great. Give her a mix.
Oh, she's so exciting.
Give her a mix. And yeah, so I had that tea steeped. It's cold. And then I've added the rest of it. We've got ice cubes in there. And it's just, I'll let you taste it.
What is in here? Like,
so it's green tea, spearmint leaves, and this is your spearmint for my garden. I went all out for that one. And then lemonade and ice. So give that one a try, my dear.
Well, let's drink this. And while we're drinking this, I think we're going back to Brian.
He looks
No,
awesome.
we're going back to the band, to the band.
The band's awesome.
To the band.
Trying to fly in worn out shoes, full steam ahead with nothing to lose. Sunbathed, too late to shine on alone. To shine alone. A broken dream, a feast for the crows. A feast for the crows. When did we all learn to bear? And why do we all stop and stare? We waged a war to find the interface between the lines. What once was a worth a life brings along and dead as a funeral bell. And you built upon our backs, yet we fell between the cracks. There's a fire in our blood that won't die out or burn away. Pitch a vessel off and away for the bruise. Take their life in the right and force them to choose. I know you'll find at the end of the game, the end of the game, the king and the pawn in the box just the same. They're all just the same. When did we all learn to bear? And why do we all stop and stare? As we waged a war to find the interface between the lines. What once was a worth a life brings along and dead as a funeral bell. You built upon our backs, yet we fell between the cracks. There's a fire in our blood that won't die out or burn away. There's a fire in our blood, they say. It won't die out. It won't burn away. There's a fire in our blood, they say. It won't die out. It won't burn away. There's a fire in our blood, they say. It won't burn out. It won't burn away. There's a fire in our blood, they say. It won't die out. It won't burn away. Burn away. Burn away. Burn away. There's a fire in our blood, they say. It won't die out, it won't burn away.
Great tea, great music, and great company. Back here with Kim Plumley, and this is amazing what we're drinking here.
Yes.
Now, before we go any further, I know I said earlier that you love to build community.
I do.
And one of the ways that you're doing that on a monthly basis right now is through going to the Painted Turtle and creating a tea salon. Is that right?
Absolutely, yeah. So every month we go up, I make a whole whack of teas, and it's really my prerogative what I decide to make that day, so you get what you get. And we have tea, and people come in, we bring a book, take a book. We have a guest speaker. This month we have Carla Stain coming in. We're talking about creative visualization. Last month we talked about kombucha, we had fly tying. We do everything, and it's eclectic and fun and silly, and we make new friends.
What time?
It is 2:30 to 4 o'clock. It's going to be August 11th is this one at the Painted Turtle Guest House, which is an awesome location. It feels like a living room, which is cleaner than mine, and it's just beautiful.
It is nice there.
It is very nice.
Okay, so tell me what this is. I want to see this.
So this is fruit tea, and it's called, I think it's Dragon's Blend, and I put it in with some ginger ale. But this thing is awesome, this brute.
Get out.
Look at that go. So give that one a shot because that one is awesome. And this brute is a great way to steep your tea, coffees, various things like that. But I find that one, this is my thing that I use every day.
I hope I'm going to be okay to drive.
Yeah, they're all, this is, you know, there's no alcohol put in any of this good stuff. So good,
Fabulous.
I know. Okay, so
really good.
What we're going to do now, we're going to make a tea chino. I'm going to give you guys a fair warning. It's going to be loud. Okay, can you add the coconut milk?
Okay.
Yep, give
How
that
much?
one in. Just pour the whole thing in.
Ooh.
Give her, baby. Awesome. Now, this is a tea called a pu'er. Now, it's an interesting name.
It is.
It's a double fermented tea. This is, here, you want to hold that? That is a pu'er, and it's double fermented, oxidated, and it comes in these sort of patties, and you can brew them time and time again. Very, very beneficial. You can get a lot of tea out of it, and that's sort of for the real aficionados of tea. I really like this one. This is a toffee caramel pu'er, and I'm going to add that in. I'm going to give that. I want to give it a shot of honey.
I'd love to give it a shot of honey. This is fun.
It is. You know what? I don't bake anymore. I just play with tea. So it's good. All right. So that'll be fine. All right. So block your ears, folks. All right. So that'll be, it could probably go a little bit longer, but I want you to try this one because this is quite refreshing. And I think, oops, sorry, love. Try that one. So it's going to be, you know what? You could do the bubble tea. You know the bubble tea that's out there? You could do bubbles in there. Be awesome too. So, so that's a really fun, easy way of doing it. And you can also turn any teas into popsicles and things for refreshing summer treats.
So I take this.
That's the pu'er. Yep.
And
I would split that one in half. Usually they come in like this size, and you can get ones that are machine pressed or hand pressed, and they're like $75 for these patties of this fantastic tea.
You just break a piece off.
Put it in and you steep it, and you can steep it numerous times.
Wow.
And it is a great, great tea.
It's good for you.
I find it, I enjoy it. I drink it, a lot.
Yeah,
it kind of looks creepy, but
it does look a bit creepy,
you know
but then so do other things.
I mean, the one that I use, the toffee caramel one, we have a variety of different pu'ers that are out there and different flavors and things.
How many different teas do you have?
I'm not allowed. My husband's watching this, and I don't want him to know.
4 then.
4. Yeah, just 4. That's right. No, I have a lot, and I like to try them all because there's, I bake with my tea. The Earl Grey is fantastic when you make muffins and things, and I never throw away any teas. Like it can be used for plants. It could be used if you have stinky feet. Black tea is great for soaking your feet in.
Did you hear that, Matt?
Something wrong with my feet?
No, put them down.
Do you want to try this one?
Yes.
Yeah, I know you do.
This is delicious.
Yeah, the lemonade. I've got lots of lemonade for everyone. Try that one.
Which one is this again?
This is the coconut
this
ticino, the pu'er. Pu'er.
All right, to air and to the drink.
While we're here.
Oh, that's awesome.
It is good.
Nice.
Hey.
So amazing tea, amazing beverage, or amazing desserts here. Wow, is there anything that can't go with this? I do have one question about the tea though. Are there any like tea cocktails you can recommend?
Yeah, well, that's what we were talking about with some of the fruit teas and various things. You can make martinis. I'm not a drinker, but people do that. And some people actually take a tea infusion and put it in their beer. And I know you sort of like your beer. So yeah, so tea infusions would be really interesting in that too.
Okay.
Keep you awake.
Yeah. I know it's
keep you awake so you can drink more.
Exactly. Yeah. This is awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, Kim.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We're back on the show. Thank you, Lorraine, for hooking this segment up. We'll come back, have some more beverages in a bit, but it is time, I think, now to check out the sort of the final stage, if it was, of Brian's big transformation. And so, well, that's obviously not Brian, so I don't know where the heck he went to. Oh, no, wait, no, it is Brian. Brian, is that you under there?
That's me.
Oh my goodness. So, Max, what the heck have you done to the poor guy?
We pretty much decomposed him.
Exactly. So again, sort of run down some of the elements here that have gone into, basically gone into his face, for that matter.
Yeah, well, right. He's got gel and tissue in his hair. He's got tissue and latex on his skin to build up some sort of like crinkly, dead skin stuff. And he's got cereal on his cheeks to break it up a little bit.
And you could use Rice Krispies for a different style of gout.
Yeah. Oh, yes, you can. Yes. Yeah, definitely. And he's got some fake hair here and there just to
All right, so 3 things then, of course, before the Facebook page, of course, we need essentially a photo of the app. So I'm going to do that first. All right, don't smile because that just wouldn't fit. And now we're going to have the big reveal. Max, let Brian know what he looks like.
Well, this is quite the transformation. This is after a hard night of partying, Matt and Andrew?
Oh, no, it's an easy night of partying.
Oh, exactly. An easy night of partying.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, the hard stuff you want to see.
Wonderful.
Awesome, awesome. Well, thanks so much, Max, for coming down to the show and really giving Brian a new lease on death. That's really nice of you to do that. So
we'll see you in the afterlife.
Absolutely, we'll see you later. So awesome stuff. All right, so thanks to you guys as well. I want to extend a big thanks again to Lorraine and Kim for all the wonderful tea stuff that's happening. And after all, tea is definitely a drink that's really steeped in tradition, often for long periods of time. Long periods of time. You know, and if you do have any more samples in your stash, you know, I'll try anything once. To winnings. All right, moving on now. Have you guys heard about the other royal baby? I should have told Tara about that. It's the son of Earl Grey and his wife Jasmine. And I tell you should probably send them a red rose in thanks, otherwise it'll be a somber mood in their castle. Now, boy, geez, they're booing already. I did leave my car keys at home, unfortunately, so I do have to catch a Roy bus to get home. And it drives through a very short section of road that's covered in all these plants, right? They do call it the Camel Mile. So it'll be good there. And unfortunately, the bus does not drive as fast as the General Lee, you know, from the Dukes of Hazzard, you know, who is obviously followed by Roscoe Orange Pico train. Yes. All right. All right, well, good thing I have a very stiff upper lip then, because it looks like the director now wants to attack me with Tetley force. But of course, I will dodge him with some of my razzle-tazzle moves, and I'll censure him running the wrong way. And I better stop this right now. So let's finally send a huge shout out to all of our guests, to all of our volunteers and staff in front of the cameras and behind the scenes. A big shout out to Country Grocer for feeding our very hungry crew. You can also find photos and videos.
Matt. I hear it's your birthday on the 25th. And you're getting older. You're what, 12, 13? That's not the point. You're finally becoming a man. So we here at Shaw, at the show, want to surprise you with something. So
you succeeded.
Monkeys in the control room, roll the footage.
Oh no. Oh no, I can see it. Good boy, Todd. Well, thank you kind of very much to everyone involved with that. Now, most of those photos came from Facebook, but not all of them, so I'm going to have to find out. My mother had involved in this. I'm not too surprised me. Well, thanks kind of Mom, and thanks for putting that together. Yes, you're only 21 once. All right, now quickly, I need to get to some birthday Nanaimo bars over there. So again, thanks to all the volunteers. Thanks to Country Grocer. If you want some see footage of the show, check out some photos. Check out our Facebook page, facebook.com/theshowonshaw. And of course, if you want to be on the show or want to volunteer, have a great story idea, contact our producer, Melissa Hall, at melissa.hall@sjrb.ca. She just turned 21 last week. All right, we're going to send it back now to Trace the Sky for one more song, which I think is called Frames, which is pretty appropriate considering what just happened. You're watching the show right here on Shaw TV. Gentlemen.
smooth suspension, a means to an open end, like chariot of fire, where it all depends. How far should someone go to satisfy a debt, a favor soaked in life's blood, forced not to relent?
If I don't forgive, if I don't forget, I'll write this down to my grave.
If I don't return, if I don't make it back, please don't tell them my name. 'Cause we live in moving picture throughout each subtle phrase, subtle frames. And we answer all the questions with choices that we make, that we make, that we make. A finger in the distance, a flicker in the sky, a sudden flash and thunder struck between the eyes. Slowly burning down, as terror opens wide, torn asunder and struck into divide.
If I don't forgive, if I don't forget, I'll write this down to my grave.
If I don't return, if I don't make it back, please don't tell them my name. 'Cause we live in moving picture throughout each subtle frame, subtle frames, subtle frames. And we answer all the questions with choices that we make, that we make, that we make.
We live in moving picture,
Moving picture.
throughout these subtle frames. We answer all the questions,
All the questions.
with choices that we make.
We live in moving picture throughout each subtle frame,
Subtle frames,
subtle frame. And we answer all the questions with choices that we make.